Adrienne Morin and Britton Smith, two Broadway powerhouses who have consistently hit all the right notes.
Everything is fine if you write your own key.
And as co-founders of the Broadway Advocacy Coalition, they are using those voices to pioneer change in their industry.
We started in 2016, and it started because we were trying to figure out how can we be used on stage and not really understand our role in how to participate against police brutality. And so we formed this group of people that brought together folks in the arts, folks in education, folks in policy, folks in advocacy to come together. So we make space and we provide these learning tools of how to best collaborate.
We all love theater, we all love what we do, but there are a lot of issues that need to be talked about when you talk about an equitable community and keeping it a safe space for everyone in the industry.
So they've created the infrastructure to be able to have these conversations, long overdue ones about racism on Broadway.
You can't say that Black Lives Matter if you don't have something in the infrastructure of the industry that supports that, because that's happening in our world. But in our job, it's the show must go on.
People have to realize that when you leave that theater, I am not Adrienne Morin. I am just a Black woman.
Right.
I am a Black woman and I can't take this off and I don't want to take it off. It is mine, it is my history, but it is how the world looks at us. It is how Black it is perceived as threatening. Mm-hmm. And this all has to be shaken off when I walk on that stage and a spotlight hits me. I'm supposed to drop all of that. That is painful. It is unbelievably traumatizing. And our industry, our community, we have dealt with so much trauma it is suppressed because we are conditioned to suppress it. We're conditioned to not speak about it. And that's why this moment is so important and vital, because people are listening and they're realizing that the people that they were looking up to, the people that they were putting in the spotlight, have been experiencing so much pain. Mm-hmm. And if you think I've experienced pain, imagine what my brother has felt. Imagine what those who haven't been in the spotlight are feeling. And all it took is like-minded people coming together and having a real conversation and saying, I am hurting. I am hurting. Are you hurting? What can we do? That's all it took. And now we created the infrastructure to now be able to have these conversations with our industry. And I really think that's why BAC happened the way it happened in 2016, so that we could be prepared for this moment right now, prepared for our industry when they are ready to talk.
I'm just honored that people are listening to our voice right now and not just clapping for our talent. It's beautiful.
Yeah. In a perfect world, what does the future of Broadway look like, and how does the Broadway Advocacy Coalition help move that forward?
I hope the Broadway industry starts to look very different at the top, and then as a trickle-down effect, I hope we start to feel like it is a home that represents all of us and supports all of us. But we need to think broad. How do we hold everyone up? How do we support Black-owned theaters right now? How do we bring up Black creatives and invite them into the room to be the leaders and be the narrative and take control of the narratives when you're telling a Black story on Broadway? That's what we need to be focusing on. And also, how do we bring Black and brown faces into our theaters? The same way you're bringing everyone else. I don't know if this is going to happen in my lifetime. I don't know if everything that I'm manifesting is going to happen in my lifetime, but I'm not going to stop until I see it.
Right now, you have this very unprecedented moment in time where people's eyes are open, their ears are open, but they're saying, what can I do? What can I do? And a lot of people don't know. They just don't know. But through BAC, you guys are giving people actionable things that they can do. And I want you to be able to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, one thing we have to remember is that this is a moment within a movement that has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. So we are not reinventing the wheel. We're just moving it forward. And it's important to remember that. And it's also important to remember that only thing you have to do right now is to do something. The only wrong thing is to do nothing. We have access at our fingertips. We have these phones. That same thing that is teaching you how to make that cake during quarantine is the same resource that you can use to find out how to combat racism. And it's just that simple.
These are not easy conversations to be had, but you cannot have growth and change if you don't do the work to be uncomfortable. And so I hope people feel empowered to feel uncomfortable, actually.
Well, I am so grateful for all of this time that I have had with you both today. You guys are doing such incredible work on stage and off stage, and I can't wait to see what the future looks like for not just the world, but for our world, for the Broadway world.
Yes, indeed. Me too.
Right.